Do we truly have a variety in the content of Star Citizen? Of course, there are different types of missions, roles, and activities, like combat missions, delivery missions, or different types of mining. Having differences overall is a good thing. It splits the content into different categories and gives it a certain level. But in most cases, one or another specific type of content or mission will be most optimal solution. Even in these new locations and types of missions we are seeing at Pyro, we have many repeat elements. It is clear that mission categories like mercenary work or bounty hunting will always have similar elements, basically same actions overall, focused either on ship or first-person combat. In most cases, the only difference is in the location that we perform the same action in. Either you're clearing a bunker, ruins, or a wreck. Different amounts of hostiles, support ships covering the area, all of this is a bit on repeat. But we should also consider that most of us, the veterans, the players who have played Star Citizen, have been doing this type of content for the longest time. And that is why we can often experience these new places and be less impressed by the activities we are doing. It may not be the case always, but often players are narrowing themselves to a specific type of content and repeating it, just doing it in different locations. We cannot expect the same type of combat to play out differently if we have already been doing it and have experienced it before. The new locations also won't have that long-lasting appeal if our actions are the same. Like in first person, we fire, we take cover, we reload, advance, and repeat. It's not that we don't have content, it's just that we have experienced the same things in slightly different way. That is also why I suggest spreading out into different types of content and activities. There are plenty who just run the bunkers or do ship combat. Of course, this will end up being boring if you do it on repeat. I would expect the same feeling when doing box delivery missions, cargo transport, mining, salvage, or any other type of activity, may it be on the legal or illegal side. There is variety in the content that we are offered, but the main issue is when it comes to playing Star Citizen, that you have to make your own fun. You cannot expect the game world to just have world full of content, encounters, and activities. Grouping up the content is a great example, as grinding alone makes all of this very boring and tedious. We do have the dynamic events which try to pull players together for one singular purpose. If there are enough active players and you manage to group up with these, the events can be truly fun, as dedicated groups of players focusing on a single activity. Managing a big ship as a crew can be very rewarding, thus giving us more than a simple 5 to 20 minute mission. But these are not happening all the time. But what many players want is a new experience of the content that they have been doing, and I don't really see that happening. There have been clear evolutions with the certain activities in the game, balances and changes have been applied over different types of content, but it will never feel as it did when you first started doing this content. I am pretty certain we will never get that feeling again, but that does not mean we cannot make things appealing for ourselves. Sometimes what we need is just to slow down. Try to be less optimal and actually enjoy the content you are doing. Instead of running around as fast as possible between missions, so that a minute doesn't get wasted, take a slower approach. For example, approach with a vehicle. Do content less optimal or content out of your comfort zone. Explore other activities. Try to find others. All of this will evolve your experience in Star Citizen. I understand that there is a habit of this game wasting your time. And even when you are about to complete something that took you a while to do, things can bug out or something unexpected can happen. That is the worst feeling. And I understand the appeal of doing already solid content with minimal issues. But sometimes it is good to slow down and look at this game from a different direction, take a different perspective. If you don't push yourself and actually just explore alternative content, it might give you another view, another idea of possible things to do which aren't as tedious and an alternative method to making extra cash. I would always say to keep your expectations low because there are some really nasty issues in this game which can ruin your experience. That is with specific type of content. I think it is good to cycle between different activities. As for me, it helps me keep interest in the game. It's also a way to experience changes which you may have missed, because repeating the same circle we do, it can get tedious. And you may never know, it can actually be fun to do something alternative. Anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.